The lie you were told is this: competence breeds opportunity, and reliability guarantees advancement. You were taught from your earliest days in the education system that being the person who gets it done builds a solid reputation. You were conditioned to believe that the corporate world is a rational meritocracy that eventually, inevitably, rewards those who carry the heaviest load. The truth is exactly the opposite. In the cold, structural mechanics of the modern corporation, a good reputation is not a badge of honor. It is a liability. It is the architectural blueprint for your own stagnation, your exploitation, and your eventual burnout. Welcome to the reliable paradox. You feel it. Everyone who actually keeps the operational lights on feels it. It is that quiet institutional vertigo you experience when you realize you are working twice as hard as your manager, solving systemic problems they cannot even comprehend, yet they are the ones receiving the promotion, the bonus, and the equity. You are not losing your mind. You are not missing a secret piece of the puzzle. You are simply observing the system operating exactly as it was designed to operate. Let us remove emotion from the equation immediately. Your manager is not a cartoon villain. The executive board is not sitting in a boardroom actively plotting your personal demise. The system does not possess the capacity for malice, nor does it possess the capacity for gratitude. It only possesses a singular algorithmic drive, the pursuit of stability, predictability, and profit margins. To a corporate structure, volatility is the ultimate enemy. And here is the harsh reality. Truth creates volatility. Pointing out structural failures creates volatility. Refusing to do the job of 3 laid-off colleagues creates volatility. The system does not reward truthfulness, it actively suppresses it. It rewards those who absorb problems and convert them into silence. When you become the reliable employee, you do not become a leader in waiting, you become the system's primary shock absorber. You take broken operational processes, understaffed project teams, and incompetent leadership directives, and you somehow make them function. You mask the system's structural failures with your own unpaid, unrecorded labor. Look at it from the system's perspective. Why would it ever change a broken structure that you are actively subsidizing with your weekends, your evenings, and your mental health? It won't. You have trained the organization to offshore its friction onto your desk. You have made yourself too useful in the dirt to ever be allowed into the clouds. This leads us to the first active mechanism of your stagnation, the competency trap. You assume that mastering your current role proves you are ready for the next level. This is a fundamental, fatal misunderstanding of corporate resource allocation. If you are exceptionally good at your job, you become load-bearing. You generate maximum output with minimum supervision. You are a high-yield, low-maintenance asset. Promoting you out of that role creates a localized crisis for your superiors. It leaves a vacuum. If they promote you, it means human resources must spend capital to recruit a replacement. Management must spend time to train them. The business must absorb the inevitable drop in productivity, and there is a high statistical probability that the new hire will not perform at your exceptional level. The system runs a basic profit and loss calculation on your career trajectory. Keeping you in your current role yields high stability and 0 additional cost. Moving you up yields high disruption, increased payroll, and operational risk. Therefore, your excellence is the exact metric used to justify keeping you exactly where you are. You are not passed over despite your competence, you are passed over because of it. You are penalized for your excellence. The system will promote the mediocre employee because the mediocre employee's current role is easy to backfill. Your role is not. As you remain trapped in this cycle of high performance and 0 mobility, you accumulate tenure. You watch executive regimes change. And this triggers the second mechanism used against you, the memory threat. The modern corporation operates on strict cycles of collective amnesia. To survive the modern market, companies must constantly restructure. They rebrand old, failed strategies as bold new initiatives. They execute mass layoffs and sanitize them in press releases as agile pivots or strategic realignments. To do this smoothly, without internal rebellion or cynicism, the system requires a workforce with no institutional memory. As a veteran, reliable employee, you remember too much. You remember the catastrophic software integration of 3 years ago. You remember the broken promises of the previous vice president. You know exactly where the bodies are buried and why the current innovative strategy handed down by consultants is just a recycled, expensive mistake. Your memory is a direct threat to the current management narrative. You introduce historical friction into a system that demands blind, unquestioning, forward momentum. The organization begins to view your deep experience not as an asset, but as an active liability. You become the ghost haunting the boardroom. You remind them of their past incompetence. And systems are ruthlessly designed to eradicate ghosts. To execute this eradication, or to keep you suppressed and compliant, the system utilizes human resources. Do not misunderstand the function of HR. It is not a support system for personnel. It is not there to mediate your disputes or protect your mental health. It is a legally vetted risk mitigation framework designed to protect the corporation from its employees. To rotate you out, or to justify suppressing your wages while demanding more output, HR deploys a highly specialized, sanitized language. They call you into a room and tell you that you lack cultural fit. Let us decode this language. Cultural fit has absolutely nothing to do with shared corporate values, office ping-pong tables, or your personality. It is a cold, calculated metric for obedience. It measures your willingness to accept new, deteriorating conditions without organized resistance. If you push back on an unreasonable timeline or refuse to take on the workload of an unfilled position, you are no longer a cultural fit. They will hire or promote someone 5 years your junior because they have great energy, a dynamic mindset, or agility. Translate this. Energy is corporate code for a worker who is unaware of their true market value. Dynamic means they are willing to work 80-hour weeks and lack the historical experience to recognize when they are being systematically exploited. Agility means the willingness to endure constant structural chaos without demanding higher compensation. This language is a mask. It is a psychological weapon used to reframe blind obedience as a virtue and professional boundary setting as a character flaw. It is a mechanism to lower operational costs while maintaining the illusion of a vibrant, meritocratic culture. The vertigo you feel in your career is simply the gap between the moral fables you were taught as a child and the structural reality you inhabit as an adult. The system will take everything you offer. It will consume your reliability, package it as corporate success, and ask for more, until you physically or mentally break. And when you break, you will be seamlessly replaced by a cheaper asset, and HR will document it as an efficiency optimization. Stop waiting for the system to recognize your virtue. The system does not have eyes, it only has ledgers. You must stop operating on sentiment and begin operating on strategy. Control your own narrative. Do not be the person who fixes everything quietly in the background. Invisible labor is unpaid labor. If you solve a critical, systemic problem, attach your name to it, attach a metric to it, and attach a financial cost to it. Make your value highly visible to those outside your immediate management chain, and make your boundaries rigid. Create financial leverage outside of your primary income source. The system relies on your economic dependency to enforce compliance. You must ensure you are never operating from a position of desperation. The only true, undeniable negotiating power you possessed in the corporate structure is your documented ability to walk away. Understand this final, undeniable truth. Your loyalty to a corporation is a dangerous, self-destructive illusion. It is a psychological construct you impose upon yourself, while the system views you purely as a depreciating operational asset. Treat the corporation exactly as it treats you, as a temporary vehicle for resource extraction. Do the math, build your leverage, execute your exit strategy, and stop letting your good reputation ruin you.